Our cemetery is, of the 131 national cemeteries we have across the nation, the Santa Fe National Cemetery is the 23rd most active. We're also one of the oldest. Our cemetery began in 1868. We have Civil War, Union, and Confederate buried here. A lot of people don't know that. We've got over 500 Union unknown that are buried here. And in 2009, the Bureau of Land Management discovered bodies way south of here at Fort Craig. They are the Buffalo Soldiers. And they identified three. And for 140 years, these three gentlemen were buried without a headstone. And we brought them to the Santa Fe National Cemetery in 2009, along with 63 other unknowns, and buried them here. So we've got quite a history of Spanish-American War, Indian War, World War I, II, Vietnam, Korea, all the way up to today's conflicts. As also as part of the history of this National Cemetery, we have 10 Medal of Honor recipients buried at this National Cemetery that date back to the Indian Wars all the way up through Vietnam. Memorial Day at the Santa Fe National Cemetery, we have Brigadier General Andrew Salas as our keynote speaker. We will have representatives here from Senator Heinrich's office, Congressman Lujan's office, and Senator Udall's office. We expect about 2,000 people to be present for that day. The service starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, and it usually runs about 60 minutes long, so it'll be 1 hour. There will be about 2,000 people expected to attend this year's Memorial Day ceremony. During Memorial Day, we allow artificial flowers, wreaths, and things of that nature 10 days before Memorial Day, and they can stay on the grave until 10 days after. If you wish to bring in fresh flowers, we offer complimentary vases throughout the cemetery in vase containers at every section, and water. At every single vase container box throughout the cemetery, there is a water spigot. So you'll see that as you pick up your vase. There's a situation that has developed at our cemetery here in Santa Fe, and the problem really exists nationwide when you're close to a mountainous or forest. We have a herd of whitetailed deer that live here. It's about 15 or so deer that live here. And when we do burials every day, we do about 8 burials a day here. The fresh flowers that are then placed on the graves, the deer come out and actually stand about 25, 30 feet away from the grave, patiently waiting for the staff to leave. And then you've got this huge buffet of flowers. And the deer come out and they just munch and they eat every single flower, and all they leave are stems and leaves. That's it. People sometimes come to the office and complain that someone removed all their flowers, and we explain to them that it's the deer. And they're quite tame. They have come right down to this administration building within feet, and they just stare at you. They don't even run. You can look up a grave from your own home computer or your smartphone. If you go to www.cem.va.gov, okay, that will put you to the VA website. You click on Grave Locator, and then it will ask you what cemetery. You click on Santa Fe, and then Santa Fe will come up, and you put in the person's last name, first name, and it will tell you what grave it is. Now, if you come and visit the actual cemetery itself, there's an electronic kiosk outside of the administration building. Unfortunately for Santa Fe, we're building a brand new administration building, so that electronic kiosk doesn't exist. Next to the temporary administration building at the Santa Fe National Cemetery, there's a manual grave locator lookup where you can come in to find 3-ring binders. We supplied the names for you and maps right there at those 3-ring binders. But now when we move back into our new building in December, that electronic kiosk will be reinstalled and it prints a map for you. People come out to any national cemetery to visit graves. Oftentimes they wonder whether or not they can actually walk across a grave. And that's perfectly permissible. We walk across the graves ourselves. We have to enter the sections to mow the grass and to clean the stones around the bottom of the stones. Long as people do not walk and stand on the flat granite markers or sit on a white upright marker, is perfectly permissible. Now, oftentimes people will leave behind a coin or rocks on top of a headstone or a marker. We remove those as the coins will stain the headstone, as do the rocks when they get wet from the irrigation system. But the reason why people leave that behind is to let you know when you come to visit your loved one's grave, if there's a rock or a penny sitting on your headstone, you'll know someone preceded you visiting that same grave.